Good evening, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Zach Bargoot, and I will be your MC for this evening's event. On behalf of Chief Monica Prieto and the Tucson Police Department, welcome to the annual memorial ceremony honoring our fallen officers. In a moment, I will ask you to stand for the presentation of colors. You will notice among the colors we post, one flag has streamers attached. Each streamer bears the name of one of our fallen officers. Following the posting of the colors, please remain standing for the national anthem, performed by Detective Corinne Ruiz, and invocation by Jonathan Alameda. Please stand.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order, march! You may be seated. I invite you to join me in a brief moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we invite your presence to be with us this evening. We thank you for the privilege to gather today and remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in service to this community. As this is a day of remembrance, we ask that we never forget their courage, their service, and their sacrifice. Throughout your word, we see how memorials bring comfort to the broken, strength to the weary, and serve as beacons of light and encouragement to future generations. Tonight we ask for those same blessings. While these moments may be difficult, I ask for your comfort for all those who are still suffering and mourning the loss of their loved one. Surround them with your presence, remind them of your love, and may they know that they are never alone in their journey. We acknowledge that the sacrifice is not limited to the individual themselves, but also their families, co-workers, squad mates, and friends. Tonight we remember those who have laid down their lives, and we are especially grateful for all those who are willing to sacrifice everything so that others may live in safety. Your word tells us that greater love has no man than this, than he who lays down his life for a friend. This verse is often used to encourage those who serve in this occupation, and I pray that tonight they would be encouraged. I also ask for your protection for those who are on the battlefield even tonight, standing watch over this city. Grant to them the wisdom and insight they need to accomplish their missions, and bless their families. I pray that those who would do us harm would turn from their evil ways, but if they refuse, may you go before us and grant to us strength and victory in battle. In your name, amen.
Thank you, Detective Ruiz and Officer Alameda. I would now like to welcome Chief Prieto to the podium to share a few remarks, followed by Mayor Regina Romero.
Good evening. On behalf of the Tucson Police Department, it is my honor to welcome everyone gathered here this evening. We are grateful to stand alongside each of you as we pay tribute to our fallen officers. I would also like to thank our public safety partners and our elected officials for joining us in this time of remembrance. While this ceremony is a time of solemn reflection and reverence, it is also a meaningful opportunity for us to come together. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here tonight, for taking the time to honor those we've lost and to stand together in ceremony. You will often hear us refer to this profession and this department as a family. It's a phrase we use often, but tonight it carries deeper meaning. If you take a moment and look around, you can see it, you can feel it. We truly are a family. We stand together in our best moments, and we stand even closer in our hardest ones. We support one another, we challenge one another, and at times we test each other's patience. But through it all, we remain united, and like any strong family, we stick together. We respect each other, and we always have each other's backs. And as I look out tonight, I see something else that defines us. I see our traditions. Radio broadcaster Paul Harvey once described police officers as exceptional and unusual. Unusual because we are unique, and he is right. Part of what makes us unique is the traditions we carry forward. They are seen in how we wear the badge, how we present ourselves in uniform, and how we carry the symbols of this profession. They are reflected in our ranks, our customs, and in the pride we take in simply being part of something larger than ourselves. One of the most powerful expressions of those traditions is our honor guard. They represent the very best of who we are. They lead us in paying tribute, in rendering honors, and by ensuring that those we have lost are never forgotten. They stand not only for this department, but for law enforcement across the state and across this nation. And while their presence fills us with pride, it also serves as a solemn reminder of the weight of this profession and the sacrifices that come with it. To all of our sworn personnel here tonight, never lose sight of what you have chosen to do. To serve your community as a law enforcement officer is one of the most honorable and selfless commitments a person can make. This is more than a career, it's a calling to serve with purpose, to act with integrity, and stand for something greater than ourselves. We do this in honor of those who served before us, but especially for those who gave everything in the line of duty. We honor them not just tonight, but in the way we carry ourselves every day, in our words, in our actions, and in our commitment to this profession. There is a saying that it is not how someone died, but how they live that matters, and I believe that deeply. The officers we honor tonight live lives of service, courage, and purpose. They made a difference. They left a legacy. But that legacy is not only carried in this profession, it lives on in the families, the friends, and the loved ones who carry their memory every single day. To those families here tonight, we stand with you, we remember with you, and we will never forget the sacrifice that was made, not just by those we honor, but by those who continue on without them. And someday, when the question is asked about each of us, my hope is that we can all find peace in the answer, that we lived with purpose, that we served with honor, and that we stood for something that mattered. Finally, I ask each of you to continue to support each other, reach out, check in, and be there for one another. Not just on days like today, but every day. And above all, never forget our fallen, those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Honor them, respect them, remember them. May God bless each of you, and may God bless all of your families. Thank you.
Buenas tardes, good evening everyone. I am so honored to be here to remember the heroes who delivered unwavering integrity and the ultimate sacrifice to Tucson. Thank you to our police chief, Monica Prieto, our assistant chiefs, the Tucson Police Officers Association President Sergeant Daryl Hesman, every Tucson Police Department officer here present and out on duty, and the friends and family who have joined us tonight. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are standing on the lands that have been stewarded by the Tohono O'odham and the Pasquayaqui people since time immemorial. We must know our history to know where we are going. Serving in TPD is more than just a profession, as the chief said. It is also a calling. You all have heard and answered that call. To be courageous in the face of danger, compassionate in moments of crisis, and righteous in the fight against injustice. Tonight we honor those who went beyond that calling. Lead Police Officer Adam Buckner, Detective Jason Southard, Officer Eric Height, Officer Patrick Hardesty, Officer Jeffrey Ross, Officer James Smith, Officer Barry Hedricks, Officer Robert Cummins, Officer William Katzenstein, and Officer William Elliott. 10 lives, 10 heroes, 10 legacies. These are the officers that the city of Tucson will always remember. I remember Officer Adam Buckner, talented officer, handsome as a movie star. He chose Tucson. He fell in love in Tucson. I remember Detective Jason Southard and his 17 years of service. His dedication was unmatched. He worked so hard, and his wife was so loving. I remember Officer Eric Height. I was a newly elected council member for Ward 1. His baby, the same age as my child. We will always remember these officers, not just for their service, but how they made us feel safe, protected, and so grateful. We will carry more than just their names. We will carry on their bravery, their dedication, and their sacrifice. That is the weight and the wonder of sacrifice. It declares to the world that being guardians of this city was worth everything, that their lives are a lasting inspiration. They were more than heroes to this community. They were also the everyday hero in the lives of those who loved them most. There is no greater love than laying down your life for your community, for your friends, for your family. To the families, the spouses, children, parents, and friends who stand fiercely behind our officers. You endured the long shifts, the missed holidays, the worry that comes with every siren. Your strength makes service possible. We know that you all carry a heavy weight upon your shoulders. Please remember that today and every day, you are not alone. Your sacrifice is in our hearts. To our officers and the whole TPD family, thank you. Thank you for your service, your skill, and your everyday sacrifice. You each stand shoulder to shoulder with your brothers and sisters, trusting each other with your lives. Because behind every badge is a person with a laugh that could fill a room, patience that could calm the chaos, and the heart with no limits. The ceremony reminds us that time we spend here is precious and our choices are powerful. Serving as your mayor is my greatest privilege and honor, especially with a police department who embodies service before self. TPD has shaped the city we live in and the community we love. Our fallen officers will never leave us. Instead, they will continue to lead us. Their sacrifice represents the best parts of the city, and we are inspired to continue carrying their sacrifice forward.
Thank you, Chief Prieto and Mayor Romero, for those moving remarks. And now for our featured speaker, Lieutenant David Ortiz. Lieutenant Ortiz has served as a law enforcement professional for over 24 years. During his service, he has worked as a directed patrol officer, senior SWAT operator, detective, and narcotics detection canine handler. He has also worked undercover operations, multifaceted interdiction, and conspiracy-level cases as a task force officer with the DEA. As a SWAT team leader and narcotics supervisor, he initiated and co-developed the Patrol Drug Interdiction course taught to patrol personnel in the Tucson metro area. Lieutenant Ortiz is a U.S. Navy veteran and has lost many friends and family while serving as a sailor and a police officer. He is married to Charlene and has 2 daughters, 1 son, and 3 grandsons. While in the academy in 2004, he served with Officer Eric Height, who became a trusted friend and fellow officer. Eric was with the Ortiz family when David III, D3, was born, and both the Height and the Ortiz family became closer. David III is now a police officer here at TPD, serving in Operations Division South. In 2021, DEA Supervisory Special Agent Mike Garbo was killed in the line of duty while conducting interdiction operations aboard the Amtrak train in Tucson. Officer Phil Hengsteller and DEA Special Agent Stephen Fox were also injured by gunfire during this encounter. Just a year prior, Lieutenant Ortiz was the canine handler serving with Mike and the Mid-Level Transportation Group. David described Mike as his mentor, brother, and legend. In 2025, Lieutenant Ortiz lost his son-in-law, Tyler, who fought a courageous battle against cancer while serving as a firefighter in Rosenberg, Texas. There is no doubt that all of our first responders carry the weight of the badge with honor and distinction. Lieutenant Ortiz.
Good evening. I'm extremely grateful for being chosen as the keynote speaker for tonight's memorial service. I want to honor all the fallen officers and their families for teaching me resilience and inspiring me to be a better police officer, but most importantly, a better person. Legacies are built on character. And these fallen officers' sacrifice must be remembered and shared frequently throughout time. So I want to share a few memories about the officers who passed during my time in law enforcement. Pat Hardesty's legacy is well known in Midtown. As a rookie, I learned about his courage and dedication through stories and solemn moments while working his sector in Sector 1. I later had the honor of being assigned his patrol rifle, and that meant the world to me while working midnights because I felt his spirit watching over me. Eric Height was my classmate, friend, and role model. He balanced work with family and showed us all what it meant to sacrifice as he pursued a violent shooting suspect to protect our community. Mike Garbo was my mentor, leader, and interdiction legend. He taught me humility in triumph, perseverance through patience, and a style of effective communication like no other. Jason Southern was my fellow firearms instructor and detective. He frequently set aside personal time to help detectives diagnose their shooting mechanics and ultimately pass their qualifications. Because of his service, I fixed my trigger reset and improved my firearms coaching skills through his guidance. And Adam Buckner, he was one of my first trainees when I first promoted to sergeant. As a fellow lateral officer, he reinforced my trust through his consistent professionalism and his desire to learn more, regardless of his vast experience. I would now like to honor the families, friends, and teammates who are the police survivors. I stand before you today with a heavy heart, but also with a quiet, enduring sense of honor. Because in this memorial plaza and in the lives we represent, there is sacrifice. There is loss, and yet there is something unbreakable. And I see you. I see the long nights that never quite leave you, even after the sun rises. I see the moments that replay in silence, calls you wish you had ended differently, faces you can't forget. I see the weight you carry, not just on your shoulders, but in your spirit, and still you show up. That is where I find something extraordinary. The first word that comes to mind is service. Service is not just what we do, it is who we become. And it is the quiet decision made over and over to step into chaos so that someone else finds safety. It is the understanding, often unspoken, that we may be asked to give everything, even our own lives. And yet each day, we lace up our boots, we fasten our gear, and we walk back into the unknown. Not because it's easy, not because it's appreciated, but because someone, somewhere, will always need us, and we will answer. But even the strongest among us cannot carry the burden alone, which brings me to family. Family is not just the people we go home to, it's the people who hold us together when we feel like we're coming apart. It's the spouse who notices the silence after a difficult shift, your child who doesn't understand why you look so tired, but hugs you anyways. The partner who stands beside you, knowing without words what you've just seen. And within our profession, family takes on another meaning. It is the brotherhood and sisterhood formed in moments where trust is not optional, it is survival. It is the voice on the other end of the radio. It is the hand on your shoulder when the call is over and the weight begins to settle in. We are bound together not just by duty, but by shared experiences, and they are shared with scars. And sometimes being strong means allowing yourself to lean on your family, to make that call, to ask for help, to remember that even protectors need protecting. Because we are not just responders, we're human. And from service and family, something powerful is formed. Teamwork. Not the kind that makes headlines, but the kind that quietly saves lives every single day. The kind that spans cities, states, and counties. The kind that reminds us that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. Across the globe, there are people just like us, answering calls, facing darkness, choosing courage. We are in many ways the guardians of hope in moments where hope feels lost. But let us never forget, being a survivor is not just about making it through the call. It's about finding a way to keep going. To carry the memories without letting them define you. To honor those we've lost by continuing to serve. To rediscover purpose even when the weight feels unbearable. That is where hope is restored, not all at once, but piece by piece. And I'd like to leave you with a reflection from an unknown author that has resonated with me, especially when my attitude needs a tune-up. I go to work every day with people smarter than me, who are better at what they do than me. I train with people stronger and faster than me. I surround myself with those whose character I strive to reflect. And because of them, I become a little better each day. Maybe that's the quiet truth of what we do. We carry the sorrow together. We lift each other up when one of us falters. And in doing so, we endure. So today, we remember, we honor, we grieve, but we also stand together. Still serving, still believing, still becoming just a little bit better each day. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Ortiz. It was very powerful. We will now have the president of the Tucson Police Officers Association, Sergeant Daryl Hussman, explain the symbolism of the wreaths you see posted on the fence in front of the plaza. Following Sergeant Hussman will be the Vice President of the Fraternal Order of Police, Officer Heather Ma, to discuss the symbolism of the roses that will be placed during the roll call of officers.
Over the next week, across the nation, community members and law enforcement alike are paying their respects to the men and women who have made the ultimate sacrifice while protecting their communities. Although some of our friends, colleagues, and family members have passed on, we will always hold them in our hearts and in our minds. The shape of the wreath reminds us of an unending bond with law enforcement to support each other and protect our communities. Like the bond demonstrated by a circle, we promise to never let another down and never stop fighting for justice. The wreath reminds us that we must never stop defending people's freedoms. We are reminded to continue serving our communities, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. And it reminds us to never stop supporting one another. Tonight, we honor our fallen brothers and sisters with our service, our friendship, and our love. May God bless those we remember today, and may God bless each of you.
Red roses have long been associated with representing love. Giving a single red rose symbolizes giving your heart. A single red rose will now be placed on the memorial for each member of the Tucson Police Department we have lost in the line of duty. The placement of the rose is a sign of respect and honor to the memory of those that we knew, worked with, and loved, that paid the ultimate price doing the job that they loved and protecting the community that they served. Their names are as follows. Officer William Elliott, end of watch, July 3rd, 1892.
Officer William Katzenstein, end of watch, July 26, 1902.
Officer Robert Cummins, end of watch, September 7th, 1936.
Officer Barry Hedricks, end of watch, October 28, 1974.
Officer James Smith, end of watch, October 28th, 1980.
Officer Jeffrey Ross, end of watch, February 18th, 1982.
Officer Patrick K. Hardesty. End of watch, May 26th, 2003.
Officer Eric D. Height. End of watch, June 2nd, 2008.
Detective Jason H. Southard. End of watch, November 26th, 2021.
Officer Adam R. Buckner. End of watch, March 31st, 2024.
May we never have to add another name to this list.
The Regional Fire Service Pipe Band, led by Tucson Police Department Piper Officer Tanner Wolverton, will now play Amazing Grace. We ask that you take this opportunity to reflect on the sacrifices our law enforcement officers make daily. Please stand for the rifle salute, which will consist of 3 volleys of gunfire. Please take precautions if you have small children with you or you have a sensitivity to loud sounds. The rifle salute will be followed by taps, played by Sergeant Michael Hunt. The Tucson Police Air Unit will then conduct a flyover. Uniformed personnel should stand at attention.
Reset, arm! Order, arm!
Please be seated. Today, we reflect not only on the ultimate sacrifice of our fallen, but more importantly, on how they lived and the impact they made on their family, their friends, and the Tucson community. The members of the Tucson Police Department stand on the shoulders of giants. Our fallen brothers and sisters and all generations of TPD officers that have served before us. In recognition of our long and storied history, our newest generation of officers carry the sacred duty of guarding our heritage into the future. With that said, tonight we continue the tradition of passing the badge. For the past year, 4 officers representing each patrol division have been wearing the Heritage Badge. The Heritage Badge is a replica of the first badge worn by TPD officers beginning in 1881. These officers represent the best and the brightest of our newest generation of Guardians. These badges will now be passed on to the next generation of officers.
The heritage of our agency has been built upon 155 years of service to the Tucson community. Part of that heritage is remembering the legacy of our fallen. In the spirit of that preservation, we formally entrust our next generation of Tucson police officers as the guardians of this tradition.
Operations Division South. Operations Division West. Operations Division Midtown. Operations Division East. You have been selected to represent our heritage with the passing of these badges. Proudly wear and display this badge until next year's memorial, where you will then pass it on to the next generation. Ensure that our fallen are honored, remembered, and respected. Please rise while the Honor Guard retires the ceremonial colors.
Mark time. March. Detail. Halt. Freeze head. Arms. Order. Arms. Prepare to retreat. Retrieve. Goes. Ready. Cut. Left turn. March. Forward. March. Right. March.
This concludes our memorial ceremony. On behalf of the Tucson Police Department, I would like to thank you for attending this evening's event. We honor our fallen's sacrifice, respect their courage, and remember their legacy, forever etched in our hearts. Have a good night.